Hello guys, and welcome back again to another episode of the Babylonians Crypto channel. Today I want to share with you a token which I'm personally quite bullish and excited about, and that is YGG or YGG Games. Now why is that so? If you just look at this chart for a second, what does it tell you? You can see that Axie Infinity revenue is totally off the roof, right? It has no competitors. And in fact, the revenue is so high that Token Terminal, they have to introduce this new feature that allows the user to click on the bar chart so as to rescale the other protocols by removing it. Because right now, if you put Axie with all the other DeFi protocols, everything is already off scale already. So this year, Axie Infinity has announced to the whole crypto world that the money is in community and the money is in games. So if you're into NFTs, play to earn games, and you want to hop onto this trend, then do continue watching this video. Before that, just a disclaimer, this channel is just for educational purposes. It's not a call to buy or sell any cryptocurrencies. I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own due diligence before putting your money into crypto. Okay, so coming back to the previous slide, just now you might be thinking, wait, so what does Axie Infinity has to do with YGG, right? Well, the idea of YGG, it was born out from Axie Infinity. And because Axie Infinity has grown so popular, but you need to buy 3 Axies to get started in the game, and it costs like about 1,000 plus USD. And this has become a barrier for most people, especially in Philippines and Indonesia. This is their 2 largest market. And that is where YGG comes in and say, never mind, we will rent you some Axies, we have some Axies. You play the game for free, but we take a cut of your earnings. So it's a win-win situation, right? And that is how they distribute the revenue. So 70% of them goes to the players who play the Axie Infinity game. They are called scholars, and 20% goes to the community manager. So these are the recruiters and the trainers on the ground. And 10% goes back to YGG. So that's the business model of it. But because Axie Infinity has shocked the world with the potential of revenue from games, there are lots and lots of all these new play-to-earn blockchain games that are going to come out very soon. They are in production, they are in development now, and a few of them are going to be released in Q3, Q4, but most of them are going to come out in 2022 because everyone is trying to be the next Axie Infinity, right? So for YGG, since their scholarship program with Axie is so successful, they say, okay, why not we do the same thing? We scale and expand this business model to the entire play-to-earn metaverse economy. And that's how YGG comes about in a nutshell. So what is YGG? This is directly from their white paper. They are a DAO that invests in NFTs used in virtual worlds and blockchain games. The organization mission is to create the biggest virtual world economy, optimizing its community-owned assets for maximum utility, and this is key here, sharing its profits with its token holders. And that is where the value comes from when you invest in YGG tokens. Next, what does this DAO do? First objective, they are going to build a global community of play-to-earn gamers to collect in-game rewards. And the second objective is they are going to earn revenue through the rental or sale of YGG-owned NFT assets. And this is how their token would accrue value. So number one, you gain from assets acquired by Treasury. So this, you imagine owning some farms or income producing assets within the game itself and earning yields inside the game virtually. And second, yields produced from active play of Treasury virtual assets. So this is like a direct form of earnings where players, they play games and earn yields, and a portion of it goes back to YGG. And third, APY token rewards generated from Treasury's farming activities. So these yields come from external sources like deposit DAI, earn into Compound or Aave, or yield farming at Curve, SushiSwap, and all these sort of other DeFi protocols. And finally, rewards generated from esports, rates, sponsorships, subscription fees, and all these sort of things. As for the token utility, by holding YGG tokens, you can stake them and earn staking rewards related to all these activities that we mentioned just now. So remember, YGG ultimately it is a DAO, and what is a DAO? So a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. This means you are sort of like a member of the guild, and you'll be voting on decisions related to the guild's business and operations. And as a guild member, you will also be entitled to their community incentive program, where you will earn additional YGG tokens by different contribution methods. So it could be like playing some games or finishing some quests, leveling up, and all these sort of things. Next, this is another key concept to understand, and that is the sub-DAO. So within the DAO, there will be multiple sub-DAOs, and think of them like subsidiaries of a parent company. So a sub-DAO is a niche specific area of a particular game or activity. So for example, you can have the Axie Infinity sub-DAO, the League of Kingdoms sub-DAO, and so on. So each sub-DAO, they will have their own governance proposal, their own voting system. And one example of it could be like the Axie Infinity sub-DAO. They request to borrow a bunch of Axies from the main DAO, which is YGG, to expand their scholarship program. Or another interesting proposal that just passed from the League of Kingdoms sub-DAO is that the community has decided to use the DAI earned from the game and lend it into compound finance for C-DAI. And the reason why you have these multiple sub-DAOs is to streamline the decision process for each game. Because imagine if you have no sub-DAO, you only have one YGG main DAO, and there are 50 proposals all talking about different games. One talks about like colonizing other lands, so one talks about breeding, one talks about sale of NFTs. It's like all over the place, right? So firstly, there will be vote fatigue, and second, it is unlikely that the guild members will have a deep understanding of all the games within the DAO. And it is better for people within the sub-DAO who are playing the game daily, that has this sort of specialty knowledge from it, to vote on these decisions and proposals. But ultimately, regardless of which sub-DAOs or games, a portion of these earnings from these sub-DAOs will eventually still flow back to the main DAO, which is YGG. So to sum up in the words of Gabby, the co-founder of YGG, YGG DAO is the mother entity that owns significant stakes in different subsidiaries that are earning yield and have assets. The second key concept to understand here is what we call vaults. So all the earnings from all these sub-DAOs that we talked about just now, it will all go back to YGG Treasury, right? But this portion of earnings would likely be allocated into different YGG vaults based on specific games or activities. So you might have Vault 1 that is focused on revenue only from the Axie Infinity game. So if you stake your YGG token in that vault, you only earn rewards that comes from the Axie Infinity game. So it's sort of like a focused bet. And take it as it is a 10% net profit into this business if you want to stake your YGG in the Axie Infinity vault. But other games in the future, it might have different revenue distribution model. Or you might have another vault that is dedicated to NFT rentals or sale of lands. And there will also be a vault which is called the Super Index. And this will represent all the income generating guild activities. So this is for people who like exposure to a diversified stream of revenue sources within YGG. So it all really depends on where you want to stake your YGG tokens and earn rewards from which specific games or activities, or you want to just go with the Super Index where you don't want to make any focus bet on anything. So these are all the games that YGG has partnered and invested in. Currently, the biggest source of revenue and operations come from Axie Infinity, because that's where YGG is born out from. And some very interesting games coming out is Illuvium, Guild of Guardians, Sandbox, League of Kingdoms, Ember Sword, Splinterlands. So these are all really hyped out games that are coming really soon. So it'll be quite an exciting time in Q4 this year as well as in 2022. And if you think Axie Infinity is the future, play to earn is the future, YGG is the ultimate token for this entire play to earn games in crypto. So if you think about it, what should be the fundamental value of YGG token? It would be A, the weighted average of all its sub-DAO earnings from all the different games that are earned by all the different players. And B, the value of the NFT assets and the productive use generated from in-game items. And C is the number of players. So the more play-to-earn games that are released into the market, the more players from YGG playing all these games, then the higher the token value of YGG should go. And these are just some quick stats for their latest report that just got released a few days ago. So this is super new. There are about 4,600 YGG scholars playing Axie in all these different countries. So these are all mainly Axie figures, remember, because this is their biggest operations right now. And all these YGG scholars, they have earned close to 3.26 million in July, and cumulative for the past 4 months, it is about close to 9 million. And for YGG, because they only take a portion of it, 10% of it, within the month of July, they earn about 329k, and cumulative is about 500,000. So most of their profits are actually reinvested back into buying and breeding more Axies and expanding their scholarship program. And their Discord member have almost grown by 100% month on month by 38,000. And remember the equation that we talked about in the previous slide? The members are likely YGG token holders who will be eventually converted into gamers soon when their community incentives program goes live. So this is the total value of YGG's treasury as at the end of July. It is about 415 million. And right now it should have more than doubled already because the price of YGG now is about $6-7. And Axie has also pumped out by more than 50% already. Now it's about $60-70. So as a member of the guild, as a YGG token holder, you will vote on all these governance matters like how the money in the treasury should be spent and reinvested for the growth of YGG DAO. And here are some of the NFTs that they have owned. And there are also quite a few pre-sale tokens as they are early investors for some of the games that are still not unlocked yet, so it's not showing up here. Illuvium is one perfect example. The price of Illuvium has been pumping up by almost 500-600%, but the token is still locked and that's why it's not shown here. So in a way, by investing in YGG, you are also sort of exposing yourself to these pre-sale VC opportunities that are not available for retail. And as mentioned before just now, you can see that Axie Infinity, they currently makes up the largest share of their gaming operations and NFTs assets. So to sum up what YGG is all about, first, they invest in a variety of NFTs and play-to-earn blockchain games in the metaverse economy. And second, they are building up a community of gamers internationally to earn an income both for themselves as well as for the YGG DAO. And third, they are a DAO which is comprised of multiple sub-DAOs that are categorized by different games. And fourth is that a portion of these earnings will go back to YGG Treasury and it will be allocated to different YGG vaults based on specific games or specific activities. And finally, the token value comes from earnings from the games and the value of the NFTs assets. And this is my personal value proposition for YGG in the long term. First point is, of course, you will gain exposure to NFT assets and all kinds of play to earn in-game revenue that's going to be live in production soon. And right now, the crypto north wind is blowing towards these trends. It is not DeFi anymore. Now DeFi is just nothing interesting, right? People are already lending and borrowing money on blockchain, everything. So this is nothing fanciful. But this whole idea of earning money, earning an income by playing games, this is the next big thing. As Axie Infinity has shown us, the genie is already out of the bag. And second, since YGG is a DAO of games, you do not have to make selected individual bets on which game is going to be the next Axie, right? There are like dozens of games that are going to come out soon, and we really don't know which will succeed and which won't. So YGG gives you a more diversified exposure to all the games, and even if Axie Infinity growth starts slowing down, you still have other games, other new games that are part of this guild to continue earning revenue. And in that way, we can look at YGG as the aggregator hub of play-to-earn games, just like how Yearn Finance is the aggregator of DeFi. So they are sort of like the IFI of the metaverse economy. And fourth, This is a project that is laser focused on community and users. And this is probably, if not the most important metric to look at. The revenue chart has clearly shown that 1 million daily active users and 323 million in protocol revenue over the past 30 days. And fifth, they have the first mover advantage. And right now they are sucking in the entire network of gamers globally. And remember, the number of players is part of the equation for token value. So where do you think the majority of the scholars for Axie Infinity comes from? It is from YGG, right? And where do you think most play-to-earn gamers are going to come from? A big part of it definitely is going to come from Axie Infinity players right now. So YGG has already captured this market share of gamers. And when you have an army of network, all the new games, they will want to partner with you. And this creates a flywheel compounding effect. More players, more games, repeat. And finally, there is a clear revenue model. The tokenomics is designed by Delphi Digital, and you don't have to ask too hard like where do yields come from, is it inflationary, is it sustainable? No, this is directly from selling game items, clear and simple. And these yields accrue back not just to the players who are playing the games, but also to the token holders. So that in a nutshell is why I'm bullish for YGG and why I think this token has potential. Again, if you look at the chart of Axie Infinity alone, you definitely don't want to bet against Axie or YGG. What I would do is I would ride on this trend, this growth, and gain some exposure to it. And there's no better token right now than YGG. And that's it for this video. So if you have any questions or thoughts about YGG, please comment down below. I would like to also hear what do you guys think of YGG. And thank you once again. If you like this video, if you have watched till the end, I would appreciate if you can give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel for more of such content, and remember to hit the bell button to stay updated with the latest developments in crypto. And I'll see you again in the next video.